Well, good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us today this early. For the next hour, we're going to talk about self-service. We're going to talk about self-service, rolling out online strategies, online tools for your customers that will help you not only move them from different channels like phone or email when they reach out to you for help, but also build a successful communities where customers are interacting, providing feedback to you. Now, my name is Monty Mavi. I run a SC team here at Salesforce that focuses on our Service Cloud offering. But I know you're not here today to talk to me or listen to my pitch about Salesforce. You're here to talk about best practices, listen about how other customers are doing this today. So I have two great speakers with us, two customers of ours, Leslie Clayton from Big Machines and Bob Altswager from Perceptive Software. They both have, over the last years, rolled out self-service strategies for their company. They've used the Salesforce as a tool for that. And today they're here to talk about best practices, lessons learned, what are they doing in their portal, and how that's helping them drive the adoption of that portal. So before we get started, a quick show of hands. How many of you are using some type or offering some type of self-service to your customers through your website? Okay. About half of you. Or I would say about 1/3 to half of you guys. Now, how many of you see 10 to 20% deflection? Or let me actually rephrase that. How many of you are seeing more than 20% deflection since you've rolled out a self-service strategy? And by deflection, what I mean is you're seeing 20% of those requests that might be coming through phone, email, customers picking up the phones to ask those questions are going to your website now. Success with 20% or more? Okay, few of you. And then the final question, how many of you are using our Service Cloud offering, meaning you're using us for case management or for self-service? Okay, great. Excellent. So, safe harbor statement. I'm sure you've seen it a few times over the last 2 days, so I'm not going to go over this, but we're a public traded company. If you need more information, go to our website and you can look at the safe harbor statement there. Now, before I get started, the other thing also is the agenda for today, the flow of this whole 1 hour meeting. So I will kick it off. I won't take more than 2 minutes here. And then Leslie's going to talk to us about how she's rolled out her self-service strategy, what is Big Machines doing. She'll take 20 minutes to talk and discuss her strategy, and then it'll be Bob. But at the end, we'll have 15 minutes where it's a Q&A session. You can ask them about how they've rolled it out, if you have any questions about their strategy and so on. So we would recommend that if you can hold on to your questions till the end, and we'll have enough time to go through that. Just 2 slides from my side. So really what I want to talk about was the customer expectation. If we look at the customer expectation, that has really evolved over the last 25, 30 years. 1980s, it was all about contact centers, call centers. People used to say, hey, here's an 800 number. Anytime you have a question, give us a call. Great process. That's how the whole support organization, customer service got started. Then in 1990s came the contact center concept, which was now you don't only have phone to reach out to us. You can use email, you can use web chats, SMS, and so on. The challenge was all of those were tools that were allowing customers to reach out to companies. They were not tools that were helping customers find answers for themselves. And if you look at the customers today, what they're looking for is not only different ways to reach out and find information, but they don't want to ask a question, they want to find an answer, and they want to find the answers themselves. And a lot of that is driven by the tools that are out there that people use in the consumer website today. People use Twitter, Facebook, or Google more importantly. Today, anytime I have an issue today, I go to Google and I type my question and I try to look for an answer. That's the kind of expectations that I have from businesses as well that I work with. And that's what our customers are looking for when they want an answer from our customer services organizations. And I'm using the clicker here. I'm getting some error messages. Let's make sure it works. And as we look at that customer expectation, which is changing over the over the last few years, and their expectations, what's important is customers, when they're looking for self-service, are not looking for a case management tool. Case management is important. Where can I log a ticket? Where can I get an update? But they're really looking at the other information that they might need. When somebody picks up the phone and they talk to a support rep on the other side, all the data that the support rep has about them or all the tools they have which help them quickly answer those questions, that's the same expectations and experience the customer is looking for. And unless you provide them that experience, you will not see an adoption or be able to successfully move your customers from picking up the phone or using email as a channel to talk to you to drive the self-service. So keep that customer adoption in mind as you roll out your portal strategy, customer experience. What are the things they ask for when they are calling you over the phone for help, and how can you give them that experience on the website? With that, let me invite our first speaker here, Leslie. Leslie's with Big Machines. She runs the support organization there and has successfully rolled out the portal. And over the last year, they also got an award from Gartner for the customer support organization that she's been running.
Thank you, Montu. So again, I am Leslie Kleitman. I'm our Director of Customer Support at Big Machines, and I've been with Big Machines for 2 years now. Before that, I was with Hewlett-Packard Company for 23 years in a variety of different positions. And the one common experience really that I brought between Hewlett-Packard and Big Machines is that I've really been focused on providing a really good customer experience throughout that time. So for those of you who've never heard of Big Machines, we are a company that is we have SaaS software. Our software is available through the App Exchange. We're a partner with Salesforce as well as other CRM organizations. And we provide an ability for you to be able to configure your product, create a quote, and then generate a proposal that you can then share with your customer. We do this a lot for customers, especially who have very complicated products. So it really does differentiate a bit from the quote ability that Salesforce is recently rolling out. That's designed very much for more simpler businesses, but ours is much more for complicated businesses. This is a software that your Salesforce would use, but you can also extend it to where your partners can use this as well. So if they're selling your products on your behalf, then they have the ability to have this full range of capability as well. And if you have a web presence, then your customers can go in and they can configure your own products and create their own quote for you. Now we also, because of this versatility, have our software being used in many different industries. So we're very active in the software industry, telecom, pharmaceutical, financial services, high tech, just to name a few. Our company has been growing really fast the last few years. And in fact, this year has been far better than we expected, given the recession economy that we've been experiencing. And so what this really drives for us is a need to scale our processes quickly, as well as create a really positive experience for our customer. And so this really drives us to really being able to use the self-service portal. It's critical because we just can't keep hiring people to handle the growth that we're experiencing. So this is what we call our customer roadmap. We share it with our customers, and this really describes the life cycle of our customers as we work with them over time. The first section there is really, what do we call it? The scoping and planning. That's generally part of the sales cycle. And so our salespeople work with our customers to figure out what is it exactly that they need our solution to do for them. Once they've made their purchase decision, they move into implementation, and they'll typically be working either with our professional services organization or some of our partners that help to do the implementations. Then once they've implemented the product, they move into support, which is where I do most of my interaction with them. And throughout their experience, we have people throughout our organization that are working to make sure that our product continues to evolve to meet their needs, as well as helping make sure that as our customers' businesses evolve, they can take advantage of the different features that our product set offers. So our vision for a one-stop location, our customer portal, is to be a one-stop location where our customers can have one place where they can go to meet a variety of their needs as they pass through this customer life cycle. The power, of course, behind the portal is that you have all of the information that's in Salesforce behind it. And so this is something that we use extensively, not just in the portal, but throughout the management of our business. And in fact, as Montu had mentioned, we've done a pretty good job of this. And so last year, we actually did win a Gartner Award in the category of CRM enterprise optimization, because of the way in which we use Salesforce and use the customer portal to really have good business processes and serve our customers well. So some of the services that we offer that I am personally responsible for are our basic support, our premier support, and our admin services. Base support is probably what you would typically expect: standard service hours, expected response times, a variety of things related to that. And this year actually is the first time that we've offered premier service. So this is something we've rolled out, and this includes having a named account rep, guaranteed response time, and this is critical to the portal, exposing more information to our customers about the service we're providing to them through the portal, as well as giving more information to them about their site utilization, some of the uptime statistics, that sort of thing. The admin services is really focused on two areas. The first one is doing, on our customers' behalf, the administrative maintenance for their site, which is an ongoing thing, updating prices, adding users, that sort of stuff, as well as doing work that typically would move more into the professional services side. So if there's new capabilities or new enhancements that need to be made to your solution, we will do that as well, included in the admin services product. So let me talk a little bit about how we've actually implemented the portal. Across the top, you'll see our customer lifecycle that I just mentioned to you. And what you see below that is what our portal actually looks like. And what you can see is that we have our branding across the top. We have our logo and our Big Machines, the type fonts. These are our colors that we use. Our official corporate colors are blue and yellow in these particular shades. And so we've matched it very well. And we really want this to be something that reinforces at every level our company as a premier brand. This is the home page, and we use this announcement section for mainly two different purposes. The first purpose is really for a lot of our marketing messaging. And because we have customers that come to the portal all the time, this is one more way that our marketing folks can share information about, for example, if you can read the type here, this is messaging about Dreamforce and about the fact that we have a booth here, we have people like myself and others who are speaking at the conference. But we also have information here about product features that are released, about some of our customer events that happen throughout the year. And we use this also from a support perspective. If we have any messages that we need to get out to our customers on a quick basis because of some operational issues, we always post the information here as well. And we direct our customers to come look here first before contacting us to see if there's something happening that we already know about, so they don't have to get all upset about it and worry that their network is having a problem. The other feature that we use a lot on this home page is the helpful links. And we use this so that customers can find information really fast that they might need. So we typically have links here to, for example, a flash demo on new product features, or how to sign up for our users conference, how to sign up for training, how to link into different communities that we have, and things like that. We don't want customers to have to search for things like that. We want them to be able to find it really fast so they don't get frustrated. This next page is the Solutions tab, and we use this to post answers to commonly asked questions. Some of our customers go out here and they look on their own, which is fine. Sometimes these solutions come up when they log a case. But we also use this when customers do log a case, and rather than our support engineers having to kind of answer the same thing over and over, we will direct them to a specific solution to refer to so that they have that information for the future as well as answering their immediate question. This next tab is our Documents tab, and we use this to store a lot of information that goes into much more depth that customers may not access quite as frequently, but when they do, they need more detailed information. So the kinds of information that we keep in the folders on this tab are things like a product roadmap, features that are expected in the future with a detailed description of what those features are. We keep copies of all of our release notes every time we have a release. And these release notes could be 40, 50 pages. So we have these documents here. And what's actually here right now is we have a folder that has the copies of the presentations that were at our last users conference. So every single presentation over a 2-day conference is posted here. So the people who attended the conference can refer back to it and share it with others in their organization, as well as people who weren't able to attend. And so they're able to take advantage of it as best they can. This is what our ideas page looks like. This is not the standard view. This is a customized view that our product marketing folks decided they wanted to use. And we use this a lot. This page really allows us to get direct feedback from our customers so that we can continue to provide them a product that really meets their needs. We ask customers to go here and post their ideas, vote for plus or minus, comment on other people's ideas. For those of you who are using this, this has a lot of features. And we do a number of things to help drive adoption of this page. The first thing, which I think is most important, is that we actually do implement the ideas that get the most number of points. And we demonstrate that to our customers. We share that information at our user conferences. And so this is first of all, it's kind of your credibility on the line. If people tell you they really want something, you really need to do it if at all possible. The second thing that we do is we recently instituted an award for the customer that submits the most number of ideas. And so this is something that has definitely stirred up some more interest to get people to actually share with us what they really want. And the third thing we do that helps keep this a relevant and live page is our product management organization actively looks at this stuff. They get notifications whenever there's a new idea, and they keep it updated. So whatever the status is in our organization of the ideas that are here, they go in and update that status, such as under consideration, it was included in a previous release, or it will be in a future release. And the ideas we get are not just about our solution, but it's about our processes as well. So occasionally, I'll get a message from our product management folks saying, hey, we got an idea that you need to look at. And it's someone who has an idea about how we have the portal organized, or information that's there, or something else that they'd like to see. So if it's something that's within my control, I'll do it. It's usually a pretty easy thing to do. It just takes 5 minutes. And if it's something that is something that I can't control, then I can go into Salesforce, look up and see if there's an idea for that particular suggestion. And if there isn't, I'll submit an idea. And if there is, then I definitely will vote on it to make sure that Salesforce gets that feedback as well. And this last tab here is the Cases tab. This is kind of where I live and breathe personally. And this is where our customers go to log their cases. We don't really have a call center. And so in our organization, this is the primary means by which customers can communicate to us what their issues are. Now, certainly if they call us, we'll take their call. That's not a problem. But we don't encourage that because we find that this is extremely effective. And we really like having a record from the customer's perspective of what their concern is. And we often call them back when there's issues to discuss it. But we really like the first contact as much as possible to be through the cases. So we have some views that are up there. One of the things we're starting to experiment with is creating custom views for specific customers. So for example, when we have, we use cases for a variety of processes, not just in our support organization. But one kind of case that we use is when a customer is implementing and they will they'll find issues, the constant QA cycle towards the end where there's a lot of testing. So they list their issues here through a case, and then we address it. Sometimes those customers would like to have a little more information exposed in this view, and so we're starting to actually customize this. It's just kind of branching out a little bit. One of the things that we're constantly evaluating as we implement different features on the portal is the value of the feature versus the time it will take to administer and maintain it. As much as possible, we're trying to keep to standard features, trying not to have to do a lot of custom coding because, frankly, that's just more difficult for us to maintain. So we're trying to use the standard features as much as possible. Let's see. The kinds of cases that we do have customers logging here are not just their implementation issues, but their standard support cases. And when they do have admin service requests, we do request that they log their request here through a case, and then we manage it in that way. When the customers log a case, we let them pretty much select from these choices what kind of case they want to log. And we manage this by using different case record types. Now, when we originally did our implementation of the customer portal, we had one case record type. But after about 6 or 8 months, we found that this was very limiting because we wanted to use the case capability for so many more things. So once we branched out to different case record types, that gave us a lot more flexibility because it meant that we could run different kinds of business processes through this case management capability. It made it more flexible for our customers because then they had one kind of interface with us for a variety of requests. So for example, when they make these requests, it's the same page layout. So once they learn how to log a case, all they have to do is check which kind of case they want, and everything else for them looks the same when they enter their information. The thing about the case record types that I find really helpful personally for managing these processes is that it allows us very easily to have different kinds of reporting and dashboards against these different processes. So it used to be, it was getting out of hand because when we had the one case record type, we used so many different filters to report out things separately that it was just getting out of control, frankly. And so by moving to this, it allows us to very simply be able to segregate our reporting and management of these different processes. There's one more process that we use the case record type for, and this is one that is not visible to customers, but it does support their success. And this is for our IT operations organization. They have to do a lot of activities behind the scenes, backups, different kinds of loggings, etc. And we are SAS 70 certified. And one of the things that we have to be able to demonstrate is that we, first of all, have good processes, and secondly, that we actually follow them. And so by using this case process, whenever the IT folks do, say a backup that they're scheduled to do, they have a case that they then will put a comment in and close. And that gives us the date and time stamp, which is far more powerful than just filling out some Excel spreadsheet and saying that you did it. With the date and time stamp, we can prove when these backups and different kinds of activities occurred. So this is the kind of customer service that we actually provide today. And a lot of the success is because of our use of the portal and the management abilities to manage our process behind that. We do have 95% of our cases that we respond to within 2 hours. Part of that is I have dashboards that I look at all day long, and I see all the cases coming in, and I can see how long it's taking until we have our first response. For our critical cases that are urgent situations for our customers, we do respond within minutes. We do integrate in the email to case capability there, and we also have people who are paged whenever those cases come in. And then in terms of actually managing, getting the cases addressed and helping our customers with their needs, we do close 50% of our cases on the same day and 80% within a week. The remaining 20% tend to be more complex issues where it just takes a little more time to work through things. But the majority of issues we're able to handle in a reasonable time frame. And so we're feeling really good about that. So that's what I have, and I guess I will hand it over to Bob now.
Okay. Thanks, Leslie. Those are pretty compelling metrics out there, right? 95% of the cases responded within 2 hours. I'm sure people have questions for you, but we'll hold on to the questions till the end. Next is Bob Altschlager from Perceptive Software. And Bob has been part of the self-service strategy, rolling it out at Perceptive for years now. He will talk about the old system that they were using before using Salesforce, challenges faced, and really over the last few months as they've rolled out the Salesforce customer portal, some of the best practices and things that Bob has seen, and he'll share that with us. Bob.
Thank you, Montu. And congratulations for making it this morning. I wasn't sure how many were going to be here at this early morning session. And on the way in, I saw the blindfolds on the table, and I'm glad they weren't handing those out for you all through the presentation to take a nap. As Montu said, my name is Bob Olfschlager. I'm a manager of worldwide product support at Perceptive Software. I've been with Perceptive for nearly 5 years. Prior to Perceptive Software, I worked for Gateway Computers in a variety of roles in their support organization, but throughout have been around self-service and knowledge management, so that's primarily where my experience has been. Before I share more about our customer portal implementation, I want to tell you a little bit about Perceptive. Perceptive is based in Kansas City, has experienced a tremendous amount of growth in the last 10 years. And to us as a support organization, the continued challenge is to keep up with the business change as well as the growth of our customers in the dynamic environment. That's one of the nice things about Salesforce is it allows us to scale with our customer base and change with the demands of the business. Perceptive also has regional offices in London, Singapore, and Sydney. They are one of the top 10 enterprise content management software developers in the world. We support roughly 2,400 organizations in 45 countries. And I guess that's it about Perceptive. How many have heard of Perceptive? Okay. How about ImageNow? Okay. That's the product that Perceptive sells. It's ImageNow, and more commonly the phrase that people know us by. So before I show you our customer portal and share our story, I want to give you at least our thoughts on how self-service can help you or any support organization achieve their goals. First and foremost, to us, our top goal is customer satisfaction. And we see self-service helping in two ways. Through the consistent collaboration that we're able to offer with our customers, that drives loyalty, that drives the relationship with your customers, and also drives a consistent experience, which helps you, as a support organization. Additionally, and to balance maybe customer satisfaction, and this is where a lot of people see the benefit of self-service, is in efficiencies. Through an online knowledge base, through case management, allowing customers to go through the web, it can help drive or compress the time to resolution. If the customers can become knowledgeable through your knowledge base and through maybe training education that you have on the portal, it will help them sort of partner with you to resolve their issues. And also to the point of where it can help you deflect contacts into the contact center. And then one that maybe you don't hear a lot that we like is empowering and making our customers knowledgeable. We are a software developer. We support mainly IT folks, so they're a highly technical folks that like to learn, that like to know about the product so that they can support their organization. And they like the demand is there for self-service for them to go and handle it themselves. It works well in that the more knowledgeable we see our customers are, they're a better support customer, better to engage with. So back in May, I think it was, of this year, we decided to purchase Salesforce.com and implement enterprise-wide. The first phase of this was case management and customer portal. We had an approach really to implement out of the box as much as possible. We want to keep our cost of ownership down and leverage the upgrades and the changes that are inevitable that Salesforce is going to be coming out with over the next few years. And we didn't want to get into a highly customized solution that would limit us in any way. We engaged Aperio. Actually, the consultant that helped us there, Peter Babelis, he's sitting front row and center, is here with us today. And I was joking with him. I didn't know he was going to be here, and said, if you see anything bad, that's Peter, and anything good, that's me. So he didn't agree with that, didn't he? It was a 4-month project, and really the project, the task was to migrate us from our current case management and customer portal solution, which was on the Domino platform in Lotus Notes. It was comprised of over 40 databases, so it was a pretty extensive offering. It was a pretty significant project to take us from that onto the Force.com platform. And I remember early on when the project management folks came on and said, yeah, I think it's going to be about a 4-month project, I kind of chuckled inside because it seemed really impossible to me. But lo and behold, August 10th, we went live, and it was right on the money almost, a 4-month project. So we're very pleased, and I'll show you a little bit now of our customer portal, and then talk about some of the successes we've had in the short 3 months that we've been live. So this is a high level. I want to just go through the tabs that we have and then do more of a deep dive here with some of the sections. But as you can see, pretty much the look and the feel is out of the box. Salesforce, we have our header, our corporate logo with links back to our public website. And from left to right, you can see, in addition to our homepage, account profile, which is a custom tab. It provides our customers the ability to manage their contacts, to add new portal users, also to view their licensed products. This is a custom tab that we had put together. Solutions, we implemented pretty much out of the box the solutions offering that's out there. We use it both internally in our contact center as a part of case management and also on our customer portal. But it is our knowledge base, and I'll talk about this in a little bit more depth in just a minute. Next is software downloads. We use Salesforce content to manage our software downloads. And again, I'll talk about this in a little more depth, but we use Salesforce content out of the box pretty exclusively. Next is cases, and this again, we had a little bit of customization more on the internal side, on the Salesforce side, not on the customer portal side, but this is the way that we allow our customers to submit tickets directly into our call center. The next tab is contact support. This is a custom web tab. It's really one page that we provide all of our contact options. We support our customers 24/7 through phone, email, chat, and web. And this is just a picture that we show, or a page that we show all of our contact options. We also offer Activa Live. We switched chat vendors at the same time that we went live with Customer Portal, and are very pleased with this. We found Activa on the App Exchange, and I'll talk a little bit more in depth about the successes we've seen with Activa, just with the technology change. Next tab is ideas. This is really out-of-the-box Salesforce ideas that we implemented. Upgrade Center is another custom web tab that we can post information about the new releases of ImageNow, and our customers can come here and see what features, benefits are available. Really an education page around upgrading and moving our customers to the most current version of ImageNow. And the next tab is product documentation, where, again, a custom tab that we pull in our online help information in this area. This is something we moved over from our previous portal, and very easily was able to set up a web tab that links them to online help information, best practice, technical papers, etc. And finally, the last tab is training, and this is an application built by Aperio. It's one of their product offerings, and this allows us to, or our customers, to enroll for training, and then on the back end for our training team to manage the courses, classes, registrations internally, and process those and schedule training. Some of the next steps that we're looking towards, we're really excited about knowledge, and that's one of my to-dos here this week, is to learn as much as I can And from what I've seen, I'm very excited about the first phase of knowledge. If you haven't, please attend one of those sessions, because it's a very vast upgrade to solutions and what's out there now, and really, as far as knowledge management, will allow us in many ways to do a lot of the things we hope to do going forward. Also, something new I learned this week was answers, and this is we're really excited about, because one of the gaps that we have on our portal is the community aspect from a question-answer problem resolution standpoint, and this is exactly what Answers appears to be geared towards. So we're excited to take a closer look at Answers and likely implement that over the coming year. And finally, the customer portal UI. As I mentioned, we implemented primarily out of the box, and have learned this week that with the changes that are coming over this next year, will allow us to, out of the box, really enhance and improve the user experience on the customer portal and really integrate it better with our public site, which is one of the goals that we have. So that's where we're heading. I want to go a little bit more in depth into some of the areas. First, cases. In addition to allowing our customers to come and submit a web ticket via the customer portal, which is call deflection, they will come out, and we've seen good success with our customers coming out, and they don't need to wait on the phone or try to engage. They can fill out the information and submit it themselves directly into the call center. But also, one of the nice things that our customers like about cases on the customer portal is that they come often to check the status of their case. They can see the status and then all the collaboration that they've had and where that is in the process of going to resolution. The thing I like the best as far as cases is its integration with solutions. When a case is submitted on the portal, it will launch you directly into a self-service experience through our knowledge base and solutions, in that it will take the relevant information from the case and send that in a personalized query according to that case and provide you with relevant solutions automatically when our customers hit submit. That's a very nice thing. In addition, I have on the screen a picture of our case page layout. The button in the middle where I've had the highlighted integration button, they can click that at any time and view any suggested or relevant solutions and perform that same personalized query. So it's a very nice built-in the business process of them submitting a case, driving them to self-service. And we're very excited as knowledge comes out to enhance that even greater. And here you can see towards the middle of the page, at the top, one relevant solution was found. This is what it looks like when that button is clicked or when they hit submit on a case. So solutions, as I mentioned, we implemented primarily out of the box. It offers a category browse, so our customers can browse through the categories. One of the to-dos, one of the main things in setting this up is that taxonomy, is figuring out how you want to structure your data. We spent a good amount of time focusing on this and feel good about what we have out there. Conversely, they can search. It's a natural language search. That will be changing with knowledge, I think, improving as an offering. But we've seen really good success, really good traffic through the change from our old system to the new system with how folks are using the knowledge base. And it's very interesting, very insightful. We also implemented Google Analytics so we can go monitor the website. And it's very interesting to be able to get to the depth, the user experience, and where they're going, which categories they're selecting, and what their search terms are. it really excuse me, gives us good insight to take action on how we can better structure the information for them. Excuse me. So the next area is downloads. As I mentioned, we are using Salesforce content out of the box. Really through the implementation, the to-do was to structure the categories, much like solutions, and then load. We have nearly 1,000 software downloads. They range in file size anywhere from 1K to 600 megabytes. But as you can see, it's a pretty straightforward industry standard interface where you have filters on the left. You can refine the search results, and then they refine on the right-hand side. Next is ideas, and as I mentioned, again, out-of-the-box ideas. This is an important aspect of our customer portal. The majority of the enhancements, features that are implemented in ImageNow come from ideas from our customers, and this is the vehicle that they use to submit those ideas, to promote and demote, to give it popularity, and then also to add comments and collaborate with each other, as well as with our product management team around what they'd like to see in our product. And on the back end, our product management team can, with ideas that are coming in, it can be configured to where, based on the words that are in the idea, it can auto-route to the appropriate contact internally in development, and also with the promote-demote, bubble those important ones up to the top, so it gives them that focus. So what we've seen, again, in the 3 months that we've been live, as I said, we had a pretty healthy customer portal on the Domino platform before, and this was an exercise of migrating over to the Force.com platform. And really, as a goal, we just didn't want to lose our customer base with all the change that we were implementing. And we were very pleased. It was a very smooth transition. We, as I mentioned, monitored the site traffic through there and actually saw a slight uptick, which is very positive. We view it as very positive through the implementation. So we feel good about that. And then, as I mentioned, just the change with Activa Live and improving that technology and how we can position it on our website, we've seen a threefold increase in chat volume, which is very exciting to us because our customers like different channels to communicate with us, and our chat volume was very low before the change, and now it's coming up to a viable channel for us to collaborate with, and also a cost-effective channel for us to support. One of the things that we want to get to and haven't yet, it's just a matter of time to build the report and put together the dashboard, but is call deflection. And we want to measure it in a way that when a customer comes to our customer portal and interacts with the knowledge base and says, yes, they have a article that fixed their problem, we want to track that against a potential follow-up into our contact center and whether it truly was a call deflection. So hope to put that in place soon. But have a good feeling just based on the front end of that with the traffic and the use of solutions that we definitely have a healthy contact deflection through the portal. And then just a bit internally, we have seen overwhelming adoption in our call center. Our agents love it. They love the performance. They love just the best practice nature of what Salesforce has built into cases. And then it's seamless integration with the customer portal. So very, very successful in the short 3 months and hoping to move that forward in time. So I want to leave you with just, I know maybe some of you are on customer portal. Probably the majority aren't and are thinking potentially, at some point to get there. Just a few challenges and lessons learned that we experienced through the project. Just a lack of knowledge of the platform. The time we wish we would have had to just absorb from a roadmap perspective what is coming out on the Salesforce platform to just the pure technical knowledge of the platform. It helps in crafting requirements. It helps in making business decisions and assessing what kind of business process change you're going to go through when you implement. The rapid speed of implementation, as I said, 4 months, you want to plan for those business resources to dedicate time to put their minds around just what is going to happen and the change that's going to happen in either your call center or with your customer base. And always with any project, communication. We put together a communication plan. We didn't do so well with sticking to it, but I would encourage you to stick with your communication plan. It's crucial in the change management and letting everybody know just what's going on and what's coming. And with the rapid speed of deployment, as well as we had nearly 10 to 15 business units that were involved with the customer portal, and with all the moving parts and people that need to be involved and the rapid speed, it's very critical that you have a strong project manager to make sure everybody's on task and keep the glue together. And then last but certainly not least, data migration. You want to overestimate what it's going to take to move all your data, if that's what you're looking at, and validate that it's right. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Montu, and I think we can enter into question and answer.
Thanks. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
So now's the Q&A part, guys. So this is your time to ask questions to both Leslie and Bob. We have a mic in the middle here. You can use that when you're asking a question, or just raise your hands and I'll bring the mic to you. Okay. So as I get to you, and I'll give something the mic. All right, Bob, what do people live bring in terms of technology to improve the chat experience for you? What are you using for it?
We were using something on the Domino platform, so we really didn't have a choice. We had to move off of the platform. And the benefits that we like about Activa are its integration with Salesforce. So there's in the chat console, our agents, when a customer comes in with a chat, we can carry that seamless integration through to Salesforce, and they integrate through the API so that they just have to live in the chat console. We also we were somewhat limited before in where we could position chat, and with Activa Live, we can promote chat and place that in various areas. We really fully haven't leveraged the technology, but just with those two things alone has increased the experience and increased the exposure of chat. So that's
it's not working. I have two questions for you, Leslie. The first one, on the self-portal or the customer portal, you have documents. Is that using the content, the Salesforce content?
No, it's just it's the same document tab that when you use Salesforce. I think it's called Documents. I'm not sure if we renamed it. It's just the same document tab. It's not using content. Okay.
And what was your implementation time? And what was that like? I mean, did your company have Salesforce before you implemented the Service Cloud? Can you explain a little bit about your implementation time and what you went through with that?
Sure. Our company had been using Salesforce for many years when we did implement the customer portal. We had been on a homegrown solution that was very limited, and we realized that there was much better capabilities available out on the marketplace than we were providing for ourselves. So I think from beginning to end, there was a period of investigation, first of all, to decide on using the customer portal. And then once we committed to that, it probably took about 3 months. And that it could have been done faster, but we did not have dedicated resources to the project. It was basically me and one of my customer support engineers in our spare time. And so we just had to force ourselves to actually sit down and do the work. It took us a little bit of time to figure out what exactly we had to do to set it all up, getting all the fonts and the placement of everything. We have notifications that go out, for example, whenever there's case comments, and we wanted to have some custom email templates for a variety of the different notifications that would happen. So we kind of had to learn about notifications, learn about using some of the workflow capabilities. So there's a lot of learning time in there as well. And then when we did our implementation, we phased it in over a 2-week period from our old to our new tool so that we weren't completely, in case something went wrong, we didn't want it to affect all of our customers at the same time. And so we did that over a 2-week period, and our biggest challenge there really was to bring in the legacy data from our old system. because we had a lot of detail around the cases and reasons for things that they had issues with, and we really didn't want to lose that detail. So that was kind of the hardest thing technically.
And just to add to that, so Leslie was showing was a documents tab in the portal. You get documents and you get content management, the content application as well at no additional cost. It's part of the customer portal offering. So ideas, contents, documents that are all available to you when you're using the portal. So just wanted to add that to that.
Yeah, and just one thing I wanted to mention is we made a choice initially to go with the standard version of the portal, and I know that you can purchase the custom licenses for your customers where you can expose a lot more information. We chose not to do that initially because we wanted to just kind of work with the portal, see what it could do, see how far we could stretch it without having to pay for the additional expense, frankly. And what we're starting to do now is use some of these additional capabilities that you get with a custom license with subsets of our customers, but not all.
Next question.
Bob, you said that you guys were using Google Analytics with your solutions because they helped you better structure the info. Can you speak to that a little bit, please? How they do that?
Yeah, and so if you use Google Analytics, we have it on the entire site. So the knowledge base is just a portion of that. But really, it's anecdotally, our knowledge team, we have a team of knowledge engineers that prepare the articles and the information, but also look at the experience from a navigation standpoint. Where are they going? What categories are they clicking on? It gives us a picture into what some of the top topics are, what some of the top areas are. And then with your subcategories, you can get from that just based on the traffic, and also in Google Analytics, you can see where they were before they came to a particular area, and then where they went to afterwards. And really, it gives you focus into what your customers are looking for, how they're using your knowledge base tool in general, through the analytics that they.
Yeah, this is for Bob. Just a quick question. I haven't seen what knowledge offers compared to what solutions. What enhancements do you see that the knowledge giving you that solutions doesn't give you?
There are a lot.
Well, just a couple of one or two highlights.
Sure. What we're really excited about is the improvement into workflow. Solutions really doesn't have out of the box a workflow, so that when a support rep submits anybody really submits an article into the knowledge base, it didn't have a workflow, any kind of a versioning. And with knowledge, you get that. It has a workflow. They're planning on more sophisticated workflow over the coming year, but a very basic, and it should suffice for us, workflow to process submissions. They have a dimensions technology, they call it, that you can take, for example, fields from objects in Salesforce, such as products, for example, and refine the results list for your customers down to what their licensed products are. So it really takes from, this is where you can match your CRM and your information together with the dimensions technology, that it creates a much more automated and personalized experience for your customers, that it brings, and you configure those dimensions, what is meaningful to your business, but it refines the search results list. And probably thirdly, just to highlight what I'm excited about is, I mentioned product documentation, and we had to really separate the experience when we went live on Salesforce. With solutions, you could only include solutions in the search that were in that area. Before, we used the Google appliance and had a federated search across our product documentation, our knowledge base, and some other areas. And knowledge will allow us to do that again, where you can pull in external sources of content and offer that in a knowledge base experience. Because our product documentation, our online help, is a significant area of information that is useful in the knowledge-based experience. So.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that, like article authoring and the whole dimensions are pretty compelling reasons why you should look at knowledge. Because think about it, right? At the end of the day, if you look at Salesforce and a customer comes to our website and says, hey, I want help with password reset, and if it was a different process for PE, EE, or UE or different editions, now what Dimensions help you do is take that customer information and say, oh, I know they're using the professional edition, so I need to target them and show them the answer that's related to the type of customer they are, the type of product they have, and so on. And throughout the day today and tomorrow, we're going to have about 2 or 3 different sessions that are focused on knowledge. So I'll definitely recommend attending one of those. And in case you have other schedules, let your account team know as well. We can do a knowledge overview with you guys after the Dreamforce session.
I have one more question for Leslie, just this quick. The critical cases, how do you keep clients from doing that if it's not really critical? I mean, that's a silly question.
Well, no, it's a really good question. We train our customers not to abuse it, essentially. I mean, no, gentle reminders. Because, we just want to let them know that this is really for urgent situations, and if they abuse it, then people will take them less seriously when they really do have an urgent situation. It's the crying wolf thing. And we find that sometimes people abuse it. I wouldn't say abuse it. Sometimes people misuse it when they're new to us, and they don't quite understand it. And once we kind of explain to them a little more, then it's not a problem.
I can speak to that real quick. One of the things we did when we went live is introduce some fields on our case submit form that really helps them to think about the nature of what they're submitting and helps us get on a common ground, such as business impact. Is this affecting one user, a department, or enterprise-wide? Is it system down? Things like that we can help them to communicate is really about what the problem is, as opposed to, I think this is important, or I don't think this is important.
Yeah.
And I had a question for Bob, which was, I saw you had the account profile tab where it sounded like you said your customers can kind of set up their own users. And I'm just wondering, how do you handle that with a licensing standpoint from Salesforce? Does that mean every time someone sets up another user, does that automatically kind of trigger another license, or how do you guys manage that?
The way I understand the licensing, and I don't know everything about it, but it's in bulk. Maybe Montia can speak to that a little bit more. But we don't see that necessarily as a problem. If we have self-service users that are using the portal, we view that as a good thing for our organization. But Montia, if you want to speak more in detail about the licensing.
Absolutely. So from a customer portal perspective, right, we have 2 types of licenses. One is the portal where you have all the access that you've been seeing in the demo so far, which is primarily the case management process, cases, solutions, or if you want to go with knowledge, you'll have knowledge in there. Then there's tools like ideas, content, and also custom objects. Now, custom objects is, sounds like what is a custom object? It's actually your custom process. If you're tracking your customer data that is custom, it's a custom process, might be SLA information or anything else that you have, LMS application that Bob had, you can expose it out. So that's what's available in the portal, but we also have something called an admin license where you can say, well, I have 2,500 customers, and across those customers I have at least 10 contacts per account that come out and reach out to us, or they might be using the portal. So we have this whole process of where you can define a delegated administrator at the end customer side who can, and you can say how many licenses they get. So they will internally say, okay, I have 5 contacts within my company that should be accessing the portal. So they kind of manage who gets to use the portal from their company, and if there's any changes that happen, they can manage that as well. So those are the 2 types of licenses that we have from a customer portal perspective. But as Bob showed, the profiles was a custom object. Is that correct, Bob?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was something that they built, and again, built based on your process. If you want more and more customers from, more and more people from your customer base to get to the website, build a tool like that. If you want to control it, if you want to keep it at a level of like 2 or 3 people are the named users per account that need to get access to the portal, and you need to really qualify them before you give them access, then you can hide those type of options and so on. So really the portal, the most of the features that you see are available in the standard portal license. If you want tools like delegated admin, that's where there's a different version of the portal and a different license type. Does that answer your question?
Kind of. But can you get
Got it. Okay. Got it. So absolutely. So yeah. So of course, when I talk to a lot of customers, one of the challenges that come up is I don't know what the adoption would look like, and my customer base might be 10,000, but I don't know how many of them would use the portal. So we have some tools that help you understand and identify, like based on your current use of the support organization, how many cases are getting created, how many tickets are coming in, to help you understand what the portal usage would look like. But then from a portal licenses, we have two types of licenses. One is the concept of a named user, where if somebody has that license, then we don't count how many times they come to the portal. They might be logging in 20 times in a day. They might be logging in 10 times in a month. It doesn't matter the number of sessions or number of logins that they have. So that's the concept of named users. People roll it out to like their top 10% of their customers, or frequent access, or people that are going to use it frequently. But then we also have something called the session-based pricing, where you buy a set of pooled licenses, right? You buy pooled sessions, so you can say, I have 10,000 customers, but I don't expect them to log in more than 2,000 times in a month across those 10,000 contacts. So that's a pooled concept where you're buying a set of sessions, cheaper, but you're rolling it out to all of your customers. And as you start with this whole self-service strategy, initially you don't know what the adoption would look like. We have reporting and analytics built in where you can start monitoring once you roll out the portal, who's logging the portal, how frequently they're logging, and what the adoption looks like. So now you can say, Bob is logging in 10 times every month, so let's move him to a named user license, whereas I keep everybody else in the pool and so on. You can have a hybrid as well.
Maybe a clarification that I didn't touch on, but there's two profiles that a user can have on our customer portal, a web admin profile and then a general user. Only the web admins can add or remove users. And what we found is we identify those web admins of our customers, and we find that really their interest is making sure that people who are no longer with the company or who have moved into a different role don't have access. They really take ownership of that and find that they do a very good job of keeping it clean.
I'm curious, how are you driving your customers to want to access your web instead of using the live service?
Is that a question?
Bob. Or Leslie. I'm sorry, I missed your presentation, Leslie. So.
Sure. We, through training, the implementation of ImageNow, our software, we show them the customer portal and establish that web admin when they come to training as a piece to introduce them and show them the value. And really, it's almost, I think, a niche of who we support as well, our IT professionals. I think the demand is there for self-service. And we really see the value in the information drives the use and the adoption. So, we talked a lot about technology today, but not to underestimate or not to underscore the process and the knowledge and the information and what you offer out on the portal. And that's what we found is that they'll come for the information because they like to learn, they like to know, right, about your product.
I can answer that question as well.
Oh, good.
We have different information that's available on the portal versus on our website. Our website is a public site, and our portal is really for the 2 or 3 users from our customers that work with us closely over a long period of time. So when they are implementing, we give them access to the portal, and they log some of their cases during their implementation time, so they kind of get some practice then. But then as they move on to support, part of what we do is we have a training session for them, and we explain to them all the different things that the portal will offer them and just say, this is how you get these services. And so it's not like we say it's an option or not. If you want these services, this is how you do it. And the adoption just follows.
Thank you.
Guys, one last question. I know we're almost over. Let's go there.
What do each of you use for capturing CSAT data, tools or functionality, customer satisfaction data?
I'll go first. We have a survey that we do with our customers either on demand or we try and do it at least once or twice a year. And there's a variety of questions about not just about everything with our business. And so we get our CSAT information from that. There is a section on, things relating to the portal, on the ideas, on customer support response, that sort of thing. One of the things we're actually looking at right now is a way to survey our customers more frequently than once or twice a year. So we're just kind of exploring that. One of the options is to have something linked to a particular case so that people have the option of giving us feedback when they've closed a case, but they don't have to. So we don't really want to send an email out every time, but we want to have the option available. And one of the things I've been learning at this conference is there are some choices for things that you can, through the App Exchange or otherwise, to get that capability.
Yeah, and we measure customer satisfaction in two ways. Per incident, and we leverage the Help Desk Institute. It's an industry, an independent surveyor, that they will send a survey on each case, but we can configure how often our customers get a survey. So, and I think within 2 weeks, if they've had a survey, we don't send them another one. So we have the incident-based customer satisfaction, and then also we have, well, our company has more of an annual or semi-annual through Net Promoter. How satisfied is your customer base with your company, and then specifically with the support. So those are the two ways that we measure customer satisfaction overall.
Great. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you, Bob and Leslie, for sharing the story with us. We all are available after the session as well, so if you have other follow-up questions, let us know. Just a couple of things I wanted to highlight. So we would love to get your feedback. We're going green this year, as you probably have heard so far. So there's no paper surveys we're asking you for to fill out, but you can do it online. And you also get a chance to win an iPod Nano. So we would love to get your feedback on things we can do differently and better next year, and your feedback for this session. The other thing we would definitely recommend you guys to do is look at our Service Cloud 2 booth that we have at the Expo. It's really good to it's a place where we're setting up to show you how you can interact, how you can use the Service Cloud 2 tool, and it's all live. So if you want to interact with that, if you want to look at a portal experience, you want to look at a social media experience where if you tweet in or you send a Facebook message, how would that work with Salesforce? How would the reps reply back? We have it all live. That's set up over there. Definitely recommend that you go check that out. And finally, we're excited about Knowledge, but there's a great opportunity for all of you. If you are interested in Knowledge and you want to buy it, now's the time. We have a special promotion going on where it's half off. It's a pretty good deal. So if you are interested, talk to your account executive to get more information about the Knowledge product. And finally, our sponsor, Cisco, for this. I wanted to let you know we have Cisco is coming out with an on-demand telephony offering. So if you guys are looking at some telephony solutions, if you're looking at replacing your existing phone system, Cisco has some really good offerings to offer, fully bundled together with Salesforce. And if you are interested, definitely go out to the Cisco booth and look at that as well. So with that, thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks Bob and Leslie again for spending time with this. Thank you.